Chapter 138. Someone is actually chasing and trying to kill Bai Ning Bing? Translator, Sky Pharaoh Editor, Sky Pharaoh. Heh heh heh. There has never been anyone who forced me into such a state. Fang Yuan, you are interesting. Once I recover adequately, I'll definitely kill you. Bai Ning Bing screamed in his heart as he ran. The killing intent from Fang Yuan had him feel suffocated. Yeah, this to him was an unprecedented experience. The thick aura of death made his body shudder, and it developed a twisted sense of excitement. Behind him, Fang Yuan was chasing and getting closer. Take this! He suddenly flicked his wrist and threw a black-colored goo worm. Fang Yuan's steps came to a halt, as if an enemy had appeared. But once he got closer, he found out that this was the plunder goo from Xiongjian. Splat. With a light sound, Fang Yuan caught this goo worm in his hands. The plunder. Goo was a black beetle, and at a normal size, its head had a pair of metal antennae, and its back had white spots. Once the spring-autumn cicada revealed its aura, Fang Yuan easily refined this plunder goo and kept it in its aperture with some use of its primeval essence. He continued chasing. For Bai Ning Bing to even use such a method, it showed the severity of his injuries and the desperate situation he was in. But with this action, the distance between Fang Yuan and him had been pulled apart again. Unfortunately, I lack a movement goo worm. If I had such a goo worm, I would have caught up to Bai Ning Bing already. Fang Yuan sighed in his heart. This Fang Yuan, he actually refined the plunder goo instantly? Bai Ning Bing was shocked in his heart. He obtained this plunder goo and had been refining it for the last few days. Although there were improvements, the process was tough and he did not succeed. This is also because Xiongjian's death had an indirect relationship with him. The will of this plunder goo originated from Xiongjian. Thus, it had greater hatred towards Bai Ning Bing and raised the difficulty in refining it. But Fang Yuan instantly refined this plunder goo, and Bai Ning Bing, who only used his side vision to see this, could feel his heart turn shocked and dismayed. There are a few goo worms that can achieve this. But Bai Ning Bing had never owned one. To think that Fang Yuan would instead? Unknowingly, he had become more wary of Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan's image in his heart had intensified in a dangerous and mysterious way. However, as time passed, Fang Yuan's heart was the one that sank. The longer it dragged, the more primeval essence would be recovered by Bai Ning Bing, and the lesser injuries he has. Fang Yuan's advantage over him would become milder and milder. I'm afraid I won't be able to kill him this time. Fang Yuan sighed in his heart. According to this development, it won't be long before Bai Ning Bing's injury and primeval essence recover sufficiently. Although Fang Yuan had been using the Moonglow Goo to intensify the injuries on him, the Northern Dark Ice Soul Body's talent is too outstanding. It can be said to be a gift from heaven. The primeval essence recovery rate was even faster than Fang Yuan using primeval stones. Unless the people in front encountered a wolf pack and are trapped, or there will be a Goo Master group appearing and can temporarily block Bai Ning Bing. But if it is a Bai clan group, I'm in danger. Fang Yuan's thoughts flowed like a whirlpool as he started to have intentions to retreat. Their chase was a long road, but in the middle they did not encounter a single pack of wolves or a Goo Master group. This meant to say that Bai Ning Bing, who is selecting the escape route, also has a recon worm and can avoid danger. Qingmao Mountain is so huge he can escape in all directions. Fang Yuan has no way to force Bai Ning Bing to run in one direction. Against the wolf tide, the most important thing is to be united and not be isolated by the wolf tide. Once you are isolated, you are in danger, Qing Shu told Fang Zheng as they were rushing on the road. If the opponent is the bold lightning wolf pack, we can defend using terrain and defeat them head on. But if it is the frenzied lightning wolf pack, the first thing to do is retreat, then use the signal goo, and wait for the surrounding Goo Masters to regroup. We need at least 3 groups to cooperate to have a good chance of defeating the frenzied lightning wolf. Of course, opponents in the wolf tide are not just lightning wolves, but also Goo Masters. Saying so, Gu Yue Qing Shu paused. The other 4 knew who he was talking about. Evidently, it was Bai Ning Bing. These days, Bai Ning Bing had been challenging people all over, suppressing his cultivation and only using the rank 2 red steel primeval essence, and found trouble with Xiongli, Qishan, and the rest. From what he declared, Gu Yue Shu is his next target. If we encounter Bai Ning Bing, Gu Yue Shu continued, the best would be to avoid battling. This sentence entered Fang Zheng's ears and caused his heart to feel disturbed. In his heart, Gu Yue Shu, although mild on the outside, had a tough personality and stuck close to his principles. From Gu Yue Shu, he could feel a strong sense of kinship. Towards Gu Yue Shu, he respected and loved him, and naturally was not willing to see Bai Ning Bing being superior to Shu. Everyone is discussing Bai Ning Bing. What kind of person is he? Fang Zheng frowned and asked. The three other people in the group became solemn. Gu Yue Shu smiled kindly towards Fang Zheng. He is Qingmao Mountain's #1 genius. Fang Zheng, listen well. You are still young and have a great talent. You might be able to surpass him in the future. So before you fully grow up, avoid direct conflicts with him. Remember the story I told you before? Lowering your head and raising it sometimes, people have to lower their heads. Fang Zheng looked towards Shu, and when they made eye contact, he could not help but nod and respond. I understand, Brother Shu. Please be rest assured. Good. Shu was still speaking, when suddenly the Recon Gu Master interrupted. Not too far away ahead, there is a Gu Master rapidly moving. Everyone's expressions changed. The healing Gu Master. Gu Yao Hong's expression was solemn. Must be a small group that got scattered by the wolf pack. Let's go save them. Fang Zheng said instead, could it be Bai Ning Bing? Doesn't he travel alone usually? It could be him or not, but if it really is a Gu Master that got lost, no matter which village, they are our alliance mate. We have to go save them, Gu Yue Shu said, turning direction and charging toward the Gu Master. The four around him followed closely. But quickly the Recon Gu Master spoke. It is not a Gu Master. Behind the first Gu Master, there is another one. It's actually two Gu Masters, huh? It seems that the situation is just like Sister Yao Hong had said. It should be a group that got separated by the wolf packs. Gu Yue Fang Zheng sighed a breath of relief. Gu Yue Shu's expression was unchanging, but the other three's expression became more relaxed. At this point, if one was observing from a higher point of view, they would see Shu's group, Fang Yuan and Bai Ning Bing, getting closer along the mountain road. Oh! Bai Ning Bing's expression changed. He had a recon Gu, and he felt that a group of 5 Gu Masters were approaching. Nod, he quickly changed his direction. Although he had a recon-type Gu worm, it could not detect the identities of the people ahead. Every Gu worm had one ability, thus it had pros and cons. Taking Fang Yuan's Earth Communication Eargrass, for example, it can hear noise and is most sensitive to footsteps, but it cannot discern information like male or female. And if a Gu Master uses the Silent Step Gu, they can conceal their footsteps and he would not be able to detect them. Not knowing who it was, to play it safe, Bai Ning Bing chose to avoid them. But this time the situation was different. Shu's group was full of elites, and their Recon Gu Master was a professional as well. There's someone! Soon after, Fang Yuan detected the existence of Shu group. He was sprinting, and his right ear had roots growing out, but did not go into the ground. Thus his detection range was not even half of its peak. Bai Ning Bing changed his running direction again, but Shu group followed closely, changing their direction to match. This way, be it Bai Ning Bing or Fang Yuan, their expressions turned serious. The two were extremely clever. They knew at once. This unknown group is the biggest uncertainty. It would definitely affect the result of the battle. If it is a Bai clan group, I will immediately use the stealth scales Gu and retreat. But if it is the other two clans, hey! Fang Wen's eyes shone with coldness. He knew that this decision carried certain risks. If it was a Bai clan group and the Gu Masters among them had a detection method, he would be chased into a dead end. But if he lost this prime opportunity, he would probably never have another shot at killing Bai Ning Bing. Furthermore, whichever clan the Gu Masters are from, Fang Yuan had a 66% chance, while Bai Ning Bing only had 1/3, so Fang Yuan had reason to gamble. As they sprinted, the two parties continued to get closer. We can almost see them, right behind that turning point. The Recon Gu master pointed at a curve along the mountain path. They could not help but slow their footsteps, awaiting the meeting further ahead. A white figure turned around the corner and appeared in front of them. Bai Ning Bing! Fang Zheng shouted in dismay. He had obviously seen Bai Ning Bing's portrait before. The other four, even Qing Shu's expression sank. Bai Ning Bing is in such a sorry state. He must have encountered a frenzy lightning wolf pack. He deserves this. Traveling alone in the wolf tide, what airs is he trying to put on? Everyone at once did not go up and meet with him. Bai Ning Bing's movements and expression showed signs of escaping. This caused Qing Shu group to feel happy internally. But at this moment, Fang Yuan shouted from over the corner, Bai Ning Bing, why are you running? I must kill you today. Saying this, he was trying to test water. Using the Earth communication eargrass, he knew that around the corner there was an unknown group of 5. If it is a Bai clan group, this proclamation would invite their intense rebuttal. Around the corner, Qing Shu and the others heard this, and their eyeballs rolled wide. What's going on? There's actually someone chasing and trying to kill Bai Ning Bing. Did I get it wrong? Something like this is happening? Getting Bai Ning Bing into such a pathetic state. Who in the world is behind him? Gu Yue Yao Hong could not help but look at each other, a look of shock all over their faces. Gu Yue Fang Zheng was shocked and suspicious. This voice, why is it so familiar? Before he could remember the owner of the voice, Fang Yuan turned around the corner. What? Gu Yue Qing Shu's serious expression turned into dumbfoundedness. The other 4 stared with their eyes wide open. After seeing Fang Yuan appear, their eyeballs almost dropped. This. Gu Yue Yaoji opened her mouth wide, big enough to swallow a duck egg. Big brother. Fang Zheng was tongue-tied. It's him? Even Gu Yue Qing Shu, with outstanding composure, was shocked beyond words.